Well, here we are yet again.
Morning, everybody. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you've got the tree in the shot.
Well, we're going to slowly start to let Christmas creep in because we're very slowly letting Christmas creep in.
Very bloody slowly. Very bloody annoying.
Morning, everyone. How are you all?
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Sazzy.
We are in the midst of Vlogmas hell, and I just wanted to say, I read all the comments under all the Vlogmases yesterday, and they really did make me smile and they warmed my heart, and I'm just so glad you're all enjoying it so much. We're enjoying doing it, even though he's driving me fucking mad.
It's great fun. I mean, I have to say the crimpling is tough. The baubles are beginning to tug. But I hope, no, it's good. And last night's was a bit of a hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Christmas tree
So
one.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about the second Harry and Meghan trailer.
We did a reaction to it yesterday.
We're both wearing pink.
Oh my God,
How
Nat.
often do you ever wear pink?
That's bizarre, Nat.
How often do I ever wear pink?
It's getting more bizarre by the minute. I love this. I forgot about this. You've got the dates of the girls' birthdays.
Well, it's so funny because because with my new ADHD brain, with the medication, I'm sorting out room after room after room. And it's taken me about 6 hours to sort out all my necklaces. And so I've got them all hanging up now, and it's so nice. I'm going to start wearing my necklaces now because I know where they are. But this one really made me laugh because this was from one of our daughters, and it says, "I love you, Mummy." And then the second cuff has her date of birth because I have such trouble remembering their dates of birth.
But you can't see it.
No, but when I put it on, I can see it. And in fact, even when I was looking at it last night, I went, "Oh."
You're particularly shit around dates.
No, but I'm wondering if that will improve as well. But anyway, so I'm wearing that in honour of my
I can't
memory.
work out if the new organised nads is vaguely more irritating than the messy nads. Because I think that's why Christmas hasn't gone up. I think it's all your fault. As you said in last night's Vlogmas, you do the trees.
I don't. So I hate this backlight. I look like I've got no hair. It's showing off my thin hair.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does.
You look radioactive on your shoulder. So Harry. What else are we going to talk about? Harry and Meghan. We're going to talk about the slight panic that's surrounding STREP A. Kirstie Alley from Cheers has passed away, and we're going to look at health fads. Now, Nadia didn't want to do this. I just want to start with this because I don't know why. If it interested me, it might interest you. Matt Hancock has been snubbed by his celebrity pals as they pull out of his book launch. I think there's a distinct sense that he has over-rinsed what he needs to get out of I'm a Celebrity, too cynically, too consciously, and too literally.
Well, I mean, I don't hold a lot to this article because book launches are going on all the time.
Welcome,
People
Tez.
have commitments all the time. I could have somebody that I absolutely adore that I'm invited to a book launch and I don't make it.
Right.
I know I've got something else, or one of the kids is ill or something. So I don't hold any store by who turns up or doesn't to a book launch.
Okay, well, let's have a little quiz.
Yeah.
Let's have a little quiz. And I want you all to guess who still follows, from the I'm a Celebrity contestants, who still follows Matt Hancock. What do you think?
Guess?
Yeah, go for it.
I think Tyndall will. I think Scarlett will. I think Bubba will. Owen will. I don't think Sue will. I don't think Chris will. Charlene won't.
You think Mike Tyndall will? I thought he was quite sort of arched about him.
I know, but I think he's also quite a peacemaker, isn't he? He's quite...
He's a diplomat.
He's a diplomat. I mean, he's been in the royal family for how long? You know. So, yeah, that's what I think. Why? Who does still follow him?
Okay, so it's Owen, Babatunde,
Tick.
Mike Tyndall,
Tick.
Scarlett,
Tick.
and Sean.
Oh, I didn't say Sean.
Yeah, did any of you get that right? Defo, Owen, Fiona Grocker, Ellery Jones, Jill. None, said Martina McKeown. It's... why would anyone follow him, Naomi Proverbs? Pretty in Pink. You know what? You wrote that earlier and I thought, I really want to watch that again. Do you remember that film? It's so sort of a different era. Oh, God, I'm getting nostalgic for films.
So, shall we go on to
Harry and Meghan?
We do? Harry and Meghan. The second trailer came out yesterday. Mark and I did a reaction to it, so it is up here on trailer reactions playlist. And Go on.
No. I was just going to say as a peg before you could get going. Almost all the newspapers lead with this story today, and
And it's what you noticed yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, some of it is what I kind of questioned the source material for some of the paparazzi shots, the source material also of them driving in the car. But it seems, now look, everyone knows that trailers are embellished for dramatic purpose. Everyone knows that montages sometimes use, let's say, library footage to create an emotion and a sense of something that, as you rightly said, they will have experienced, but perhaps they haven't got footage of. So, you know, but does anyone remember the huge controversy over the edited documentary where they made the Queen say something else? I think
Yes.
the Peter
BBC
Fincham
were
resigned.
in huge trouble over it, yeah.
The head of the BBC had to resign over it.
What was that? What was it she'd said?
It was
They edited it.
they
so
edited
that
it.
An answer that she'd given
Yeah.
was given to a different question. Disgusting. I mean, we all have that happen to us all the bloody
So-
time, I might add, but in edited shows.
So that came back to me last night, actually. I was thinking, well, hang on, there was such a furore about that. And all I was asking in the trailer was, I think it's particularly dangerous when quite an incendiary, accusatory series is coming out to potentially manipulate some of the footage. So the front of the Daily Mail says, not unsurprisingly, fury at Sussex's Netflix claim of war on Meghan. Bombshell new trailer laced with race and hate slurs. All out war, now Harry say Palace played dirty games, says the Daily Express. The Sun runs with this story. Sussex lies and videotape, image of press hounding Meg, is really media at Katie Price court. What do you think of that?
Well, like you say, we all know that there is manipulation for trailers, and they've used a bit of footage because they haven't got the footage that they want. But it's a very dangerous thing to do because now, I mean, it devalues, I suppose, what they're trying to put across, doesn't it?
I think it calls into question everything,
I
personally.
I'm so torn.
I'm
on
not
all
a
of
Meghan
this
basher either,
because
I
the
think.
one side of me is like, yeah, let's have a look. It's just like any other
Oh, yeah,
reality
I
show.
mean, yeah, lots
There's
of
another
things.
side of me that sees a very wounded couple that feel like they've been treated very badly and that their story has been told in a way that they haven't told it. But I also remember the Oprah Winfrey show where they did tell their story unchallenged in full. In a lot of ways, I think. I mean, we didn't get the names and times and
I think
places.
they're going to do exactly the same again.
And I just think yesterday, I think Harry was really out of order yesterday in that trailer.
Right.
More I think about it.
Really?
Well, because to invoke Kate and to say what's the thing about Kate's unhappiness about the marriage?
Meghan's?
No, but Kate as well. He said something about
Oh,
Catherine,
did he?
didn't he? And
Oh,
the
did
way
he?
that women are treated in this family.
Right.
Nobody knows the truth, but we know the truth. Well, you know your truth. You don't know all of the truth.
I do get sick of people saying,
And,
it's my
and
truth.
I really do take umbrage with this. I know we've talked about this before. You can't just have your truth. And I think that they were treated badly. I think there's no doubt about that. There was areas they were treated badly. But I can't help but think it was really interesting watching my sister come in yesterday, who's not as plugged in as we are into the goings on and ins and outs of everything. And as she said, what's this that keeps popping up about this trailer of Meghan and Harry? I said, oh, it's their trailer for their documentary. She went, oh, for fuck's sake. She said, you know, at the end of it, she goes, most people I know are really fucking struggling with everything. Getting doctor's appointments, paying their bills. These are, she says, we've all got shit going on with our families. Everybody has. And she said, I can't help but think these people are just fucking loaded and moaning on.
Who, Meghan and Harry?
Yeah, that's what Tina was saying.
Oh, right,
She
so
went into a right tirade.
So she wasn't criticising the media frenzy around it. She was
No,
criticising
she was
them.
just like, everyone's got shit going down.
okay,
and I said, well, they're getting 110 million. And she said, I now feel physically sick, because she doesn't know any of this stuff. She says, I feel physically sick. And I think that's a massive problem with how we're all going to feel coming out of watching this documentary.
I have always been outspoken about the fact that I genuinely do believe that Meghan Markle will have experienced and did experience marginalisation in the press, unnecessary assaults from the likes of Piers Morgan. It was too much.
Terrible.
It was too
Terrible.
extreme. It was too, and I'm not disputing for a minute
No.
that she hasn't heard something within the royal family. I think the big mistake they've made is by not making it specific. I think the big problem is that they've, and you know, we get lots of comments saying, how can you even say that the royal family aren't institutionally racist? Historically, they will have
The
absolutely
world
been,
is
and they
institutionally
are.
racist, and I don't think any of us can say how Meghan would have felt, you know. And you know, my black friends will say this is our lived experience in every situation we are in. We feel it, we know the difference, and I believe that.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that. But I think what the problem with this documentary series, even though I'm desperate to watch it,
Well, that's going to be my next point. Isn't this just out and out showbiz?
it's showbiz. The trailers are incredibly showbiz. You know how, Mark, those are very expensive trailers, aren't they? Edited by very brilliant people, aren't they?
Yeah.
Music, everything.
Oh yeah, they're incredibly, but every microscopic image and edit in a 1 minute 17 trailer for possibly the biggest documentary on Netflix, the biggest streamer in the world, which will become, I guarantee, the most watched program on Netflix. Every microscopic shot will have been examined. But someone just said a minute ago, and we did say this on the trailer, it's a big question to be asked whether the Sussexes will have actually had any involvement with the editing of the trailer.
We'll never know that.
I've heard that there's a lot of discomfort between Netflix and Harry and Meghan, and Netflix may well have, because broadcasters can, locked the door on the edit and not let them in.
Oh God, absolutely. You have no say. So I go back to what I said a few days ago, which is I wish in the heat of the moment when they were leaving angry and upset with the way that they felt they'd been treated, that somebody didn't say, wait 6 months before you sign this deal. Because once you're into such a mega bucks deal, you've then got to deliver. And you've got to deliver blood. You cannot get 110 million. Obviously, that is for other podcasts and documentaries, but all of this is completely overshadowed the philanthropic work that they wanted to do. It overshadowed Green Shot that William and Kate wanted to do. And I don't think they'll win any. But are they wanting to win people? Maybe they don't. Maybe that's not important to them.
I think there are two distinct things here. I think Netflix are going to rinse a huge investment for whatever they can. I think, am I right in thinking The Crown is coming to the end? So they're probably wanting to jump on the sort of coattails of that. Someone here
Business.
yeah, exactly. Rochelle Boudreau, this is an important point. Harry and Meghan never said they wanted privacy or private life. I think there's an interesting point there. They did say they wanted to step aside from the family.
From royal family, they didn't say they wanted privacy.
Yeah. So yeah. I think that's an important point.
Yeah.
But what do you think of them using footage from Katie Price leaving court to suggest that this is what they've gone through?
I think that I personally think Harry and Meghan won't really have known that. I think that comes down to Netflix and the edit.
But it's going to play against them. It already has.
But
single
really,
red
they
top
are in a
paper is
position
reporting
where
it.
everything is going to play against them. Everything. The biggest problem for me with the last trailer was him Harry saying, nobody knows the truth, but we know the truth. And I just think it's really presumptuous to say that you know everybody's truth. You know.
Well, just to run down some of the clips.
I don't know what they want out of it. Okay, park the money. Park the money. What do they want from doing this?
I don't know.
This is a conversation you should be having round the house with the family and making them step up and say, this is what happened. And Auntie Grace said this and cousin da-da-da. And that's what it should have done. I just don't believe that you should go public with your family. But maybe it's not going to be about the family.
Claire Hemming.
Maybe it's just going to be the media.
Yeah, Claire Hemming, could that footage be a part in the programme about other women in the public eye being handled by the press? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all manipulated by trailers, first and foremost.
Yeah, but they, in a sense, needed to float potentially some sync or a quote underneath that. The Times just breaks down some of these shots. The clip outside Crawley Magistrates Court was Katie Price, a media personality.
That's just a bit cringe.
Yeah, leaving somewhere after being given a suspended sentence. Another shot is a media scramble outside the house of Donald Trump's disgraced former lawyer when he was making a brief statement to the press. A third clip, featuring the Sussexes together, which has come under scrutiny, claims it was taken out of context. It's a very emblematic shot, iconic shot. It's them both walking in a courtyard through an arch with their baby. Their backs are facing the camera. But a journalist who was present at the time said that the video was taken by accredited media representatives on a royal visit to South Africa. Because the inference in the shot is they didn't know whether they were being filmed. They did. They signed
I think
off.
this is all Netflix, though. They will not have
This is
chosen
signed
these
off.
shots.
Yeah.
They won't have.
No, this photograph used by Netflix suggests intrusion by the press as a complete travesty, but it was taken by an accredited pool at Archbishop Tutu's
There is
residence.
no fucking doubt that they have had intrusion from the press. Let's just make that really fucking clear. There is no doubt that when these vile papers get hold of something to keep us angry about totally things that are unrelated to our lives, so that we're not concentrating on all the dirty dealings that are going on with our government, etc., they run and run and run with it. And they have literally battered the pair of them. I agree with that.
And I think when you look at the front of all the papers today, I think I stand by what I've said, that there was latent racism within all the coverage of Meghan to begin with. There was, and when I say that, there was preferential treatment given to Kate versus Meghan. There was a different tone given to Kate versus Meghan. Phrases like uppity that have a slave trade, historic resonance, that was used. And unfortunately, what I think happens here is this trailer is a misguided insight into a misguided project by a couple who are slightly misguided because they haven't got anyone else saying...
Massively misguided, because they were in a state of flight when they did this deal.
And I think this allows, unfortunately, the press, because we're asking questions about it, it allows the press to double down in that indirect way to get back at them. I mean, I can't wait for Piers' comment.
It's like I was saying yesterday, in a minuscule way, being in the public eye in a minuscule way, Z-list celebrity, I like to call myself. When things are said about you that aren't true, you always need your friends and family saying, don't say a word. Mm-hmm. Don't say a word. And you're like this, and you so want to speak up for yourself. And it's like, don't say a word. Because as soon as you do, that's fuel on the fire. And I just think, where were those people saying don't say a word? Well, if you're earning 110 million, there's other people earning a lot of money too. That's the problem.
Well, Netflix is going to make an absolute rake this in. Now, the Daily Star, I think... you know me and the Daily Star. I think they articulate what a huge number of people just think on both sides of the equation, which is get the popcorn in, folks. Their royal shinesses to trash royal family again on Thursday. And then they say bloke labels life with the firm a dirty game. They call him Prince Harry bloke. Okay, so there we go.
Well, but that's the knockback on him not wanting to be a royal. So they're just saying you're just a bloke. That's what they're saying. Tez there is saying he doesn't think it's misguided. Okay.
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to be watching it, and as I say, I
suppose it depends.
think they have been.
That's a good point. Is it misguided? I suppose it depends what you want from when you tell your side of the story. Is it just the feeling of justice that you've said what the truth is and held to the rest of it, and everybody decides what they want, or is it that you really wanted to change opinion and you wanted people to understand you better? And I think usually when you talk out within the media, which then manipulates it all, it rarely goes the way you want it. It's like the cat's out of the bag, and then the kittens are out the bag, and then you can't scramble back the kittens. But if it's more about we're just going to say it, and then you can all fuck off and we're going to get on with our lives, well then that's probably going to be all right. It's a cathartic process. They're probably going to get what they want.
Martina, I'm going to call you Santa. She's gifted some more memberships.
Oh, Martina. This is Martina McKeown, who keeps handing out 1 month subscriptions to our membership area. Very sweet. And it's very, very kind of you. And she's a little Santa this Christmas, aren't you?
We also have a quiz that's going to drop in at some point across Vlogmas when I hit an edit bottleneck, which is it's closer than I think. We're going to trot a quiz in, and we'll have all the kind of high antics and stupidity, and probably dress. You might be slightly festive there, mightn't you? I just wanted to quickly mention, is anyone worried about STREP A? Is this story worrying people? Because there have been more deaths, and it has affected teenagers.
I ever since the pandemic, on a daily basis, there's something new we're given to panic about health. And there's now, is it 9 children that
I think
have
so,
died?
there's one in Belfast.
I mean, oh my God. From essentially what starts off as a sore throat. But I do think we just have to the papers again will want to whip this up. This is a feeding frenzy, but we just have to stay really calm. You know, Mark read out yesterday, didn't you, the symptoms to look for.
And the government have reissued and urged parents to look out. I did want to make a quick comment on the symptoms. It's very easy to say look out for a sore throat when there's a huge number of people with flu, colds, and COVID. It's like almost it's a totally pointless lookout.
Do you know what I find frustrating is that, and this was the same all the way through pandemic, and this is what John Campbell was always saying. They give us the drama, they give us the fear, but there's never anything written about how to build up your immune system. As John Campbell said, you know, get out and exercise, get plenty of sleep, have your vitamin D, have your vitamin C, lots of fruits and vegetables,
Hi, Gina.
all this sort of stuff that helps us stay healthier. And you know, first thing I heard this morning was, you know, school doctors talking about, you know, setting a new precedent, handing out antibiotics as a prophylactic, and I was like, oh my God, they're just going to be handing out antibiotics.
They are
as a
talking about
preventative.
this, yeah, and the school's effective.
But then when you know, they had a very sane doctor on BBC saying, well, we're not going to just be handing antibiotics. It may be that people in close contact with the person that's got strep may be given them as a prophylactic. And it's always about just looking under where they want us to panic.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to say, you know, and the government are saying this, it's incredibly rare. And you know, and getting strep A, it's incredibly, Aaron Bullimore, you said you got it and it was horrible, but it's very unusual for it to
We used to get it as kids.
Yeah, it's very unusual for it to spread into the bloodstream, though, obviously. And I do think it sounds like this is lockdown related, not being exposed to stuff. Gracio D.
That's what worries me. All our immune systems are down. And you know what? I really feel that. I still don't really like going into packed places. Don't like going on the tube. Don't like going about all of that. But I know every time I'm avoiding all of that, I'm weakening my immune system because we're supposed to be exposed to this stuff.
Gracio D. Well, where have you gone? I just wanted to read your comment. For parents of non-verbal children, I'm worried, yes, my daughter has had really bad croup over last weekend and a cough for about 3 weeks now, so do worry that she's already run down and more susceptible to other things. Someone else said, Faye Gargaro, what I'm concerned about is the public are unable to get doctor's appointments when they need it.
Well, this is what this doctor was saying. You know, you've got to look at, you know, listen if your child is like getting erratic temperature, if they're getting achy body. He goes, but also we don't want people just contacting because it's going to overwhelm the NHS. It's like, well, you know, I mean, that's a lot of contradictions. Just something on bad chests. We both were really suffering, weren't we, after COVID? And my sister came round and she said, you have to take the ginger, fresh ginger, like medicine. She'd been to the herbalist. So you grate it and you put it in very hot water and you drink it like hourly because it actually counteracts the inflammation. If you want to put a bit of turmeric in as well. My God, it's what got rid of mine finally, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, once you've seen a doctor and all of that, I'm not saying that instead of medicine, but if you've done all other routes.
Rather tragically, Kirstie Alley, star of Cheers, has passed away at the young age of 71. Apparently, it was quite a sudden or recent diagnosis of cancer. I don't think they've specified which. Her family posted to all our friends far and wide, we are sad to inform you that our incredible, fierce and loving mother has passed away after a battle with cancer only recently discovered. She was surrounded by her closest family and fought with great strength, leaving us with a certainty of a never-ending joy of living and whatever adventures lie ahead. As iconic as she was on screen, she was an even more amazing mother and grandmother. And then they go on to thank people who've sent their condolences.
I really, really loved Kirstie Alley.
She was great.
Whenever I saw her in interviews, she was so feisty, so smart.
Yeah.
I adored Cheers.
Yeah,
I
so
just
did I.
loved it. it was an appointment to view for me, Cheers. I absolutely loved it.
It was never long enough, was it? It was always 20 minutes.
And it made me sad that she had such a battle with obesity and a lot of self-loathing around that. I was reading a few things today because I think, it's such a shame because, it was a battle all her life and she felt so, being in Hollywood as well, it's so unusual, isn't it? For
Look
stars,
who's talking, absolutely.
Look who's talking. And I think that was such a shame because she was, so the fuck what? You know, so fuck what? She was so talented, she was so funny, she was so smart. God, she could cut somebody dead in an interview
Oh my
in such a
God!
good
I mean,
way.
she was, and I didn't realise she was in the UK version of Celebrity
Yeah,
Brother,
she was, yeah.
Big Brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is just, it's tragically sad, and she was.
She reminded me a bit of Lauren Bacall.
Yes, yes, yes. She does have those sort of eyes. She also looks a bit like Priscilla Presley, there, doesn't
Yes,
she? In the eyes,
so
it
like
really
it,
does.
but also that voice and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah, really
John
sad.
Travolta posted saying, Kirstie was one of the most special relationships I've ever had. I love you, Kirstie. I know we will see each other again. Look how beautiful she is there. And finally, we just wanted to touch upon this. You know, there's all this talk
Talking
about health, health fads, and whether what we're told to do for our health is, as they say in the Independent today, is it a marketing myth or is it a healthy rule? And I thought this was one. I haven't heard what your opinion on this is, because there was a lot of press recently about 8 glasses of water. I thought we were supposed to drink. Well, how big is a glass? That's what they say we should
I think
have.
these figures are given. Obviously, it's going to be a very inexact science because it depends what sort of, you know, how much. I mean, I remember you being told by a trainer, because of the way that you work out, you should have 3 litres of water a day. So it depends on your size. But I think these are given as a guidance so that you can go,
Right.
oh God, well, actually, I've only had 1 glass of water today. And, you know, us getting these changed changed our health completely. Years ago, we got them. I had a very high heart rate.
Yeah, you did.
And I built up and got the 10,000 steps, and then I brought my heart rate down by 10 or 15. And I was like, hang on a minute. Then you see all these articles, oh, well, this 10,000 steps is a load of nonsense. Well, it wasn't for me, because it got me off my arse and got me moving. And the thing is, people don't realise that not drinking enough water, you can't burn calories efficiently if you're dehydrated. Headaches, your brain literally shrinks, doesn't it? Like the very first thing you do in the morning, you're supposed to have a big glass of water, because your brain, it's so important for brain power, for memory. That's why I'm so glad now in schools they allow kids to have water in the class.
Yeah.
Remember when we were at school, you'd be dying of thirst,
Yeah.
but there was we used to do dance classes for an hour and a half, we weren't allowed to drink any water.
And they'd give you those little sort of bottles or cartons of milk,
Yeah,
wouldn't they?
I always have water.
Me Too, the 8 glasses of water came from a US marketing campaign. There is that aspect to all of it.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the pharmaceutical industry, isn't it? And another example of that is when they encourage you to eat more than 5 pieces of fruit and veg a day. And this survey...
No, but hang on a minute. That is true.
No. But what they're saying is you're not going to get any more benefit from eating 6, 7, 8 or 9 pieces of veg or fruit
I
beyond
absolutely
5.
do not agree with that at all.
Oh, the 5 a
I
day
do not
campaign was
agree.
launched in the UK in 2003 by the government to get people to up their intake of fruit and veg.
Very, very clever people. We're learning more and more about the gut now, aren't we? And it's about the gut affects so much of our health, everything. And you want all those different, God, what is the word I'm looking for? Can't remember. Anyway, you can't have too many fruits and vegetables. You just can't. Even more vegetables and diversity. You want that gut diversity going on. So
Do you think as
I
humans...
don't agree with that at all.
Do you think as humans we're obsessed with systems and patterns, and it's
I
like
think as
it's like I
humans,
fill
we're
out...
confused and we're wanting things to hang on to. So if you can go, well, actually my child is having a vegetable every 48 hours, and somebody says, well, you know, the best is really 5 vegetables. It's got something to work towards. It doesn't mean you have to religiously keep
But
it.
these markers, if I ever fall short, say, of I said it this morning, of my 4 to 5 workouts a week, whether it be a run or whatever, I feel such a sense of failure. And again, that's kind of arbitrary, because one week your metabolism might really metabolize quite well, just 2 moments of exercise, whereas another week you might feel very it's like I did a workout the other day after 3 days not doing something, whereas I usually do it every other day, and I felt so much stronger in doing stuff because I wasn't aching and I wasn't sort of, my muscles weren't. So yeah, I think these systems are grabs, and I do think that they are sort of commercially
Beth Barry has
incentivized.
lost 11 stone.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Well done.
How
Beth.
difficult that is. Bloody good for you. I hope also you're getting some help and some thinking around why maybe you're using food for something other. Really look into that, because it's so helpful when you go, and you think, I'm actually eating this because I'm sad, because I'm anxious, because I'm this, because I'm that, because I think too often we just think about the weight and not what's driving us to. I think you said there you'd suffer from depression, and it's a big sort of medication, isn't it, when we're feeling low?
Dawny Harvey raises an interesting point. What gets me is that this is good for you, society. Then 2 years later, it's bad for you, society. Nothing's consistent. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That for every story that tells you that, and that's what drives me nuts. You know, for every, you know, when you get these stories saying 10 seconds of exercise is intense exercise is the same as running a marathon. I just want to run a marathon.
No, but not. What the problem with those things is that they don't take into account how you feel from taking more exercise and the mental health benefits of taking a half-hour walk. You know, it's just all about, they're just looking at the physiology of it, aren't they?
Okay, guys, just to let you know, for members, there are going to be some surprise members' lives, sort of Christmassy lives popping up over the next few weeks.
We try with the fermenters.
They're going to be random. There's going to be half-hour notices on them. They're going to be in different places. Nadji's going to do them. I might do them. Nanny Di might do them. There are going to be random lives popping up. And obviously, Vlogmas is going to be landing tonight. So Faith Goodman says, do you have any of that fermented stuff? I can't stand it.
Yeah, I do try and eat it because it is so good, fermented stuff. But, you know, Greek yogurt is also another way to get something in, you know, that probiotic.
We'll try and make them in the evening.
I take a probiotic every morning, though. Time for Rhymes lost 3 stone.
Wow.
I'm giving up smoking this year.
Time for Rhymes. I haven't seen you for a while.
Well
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to have to go. Lots to do. So have a lovely day.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and Vlogmas will be up about
6:30. Absolutely. Take care, guys. Bye.